the key there. I have Eyes of the Eagle, so
Same thing.
yeah. The Goggles of Minute Seeing
All right.
might be good on
Greetings
Makina.
and welcome to Jai Dragon Jai presents Titan's Gift, Season 3, Episode 19. We just did a quick reboot here to see if it clears up the audio issues. We're not hearing any audio issues on our side, but apparently Ahmed is, and I'm going to say, fix your fix your headphones, Ahmed. Hopefully that fixed the problem. All right. Let's do a recap of what happened last game while Luke is doing a reboot. Roadside Traveling Blues, the Jerks visit the Valley of the Titans and speak with the albino Fant. Salvatore Scream warns about the blue light. Ezri's spirit has departed on a journey and may require assistance to reconnect with her slumbering body. The Jerks strike out towards the Cinderlands, leaving many of their allies back at the Valley of the Titans. Thurgus and Pharisee hunt a six-legged beast and find a strange shrine to a blue dragon. The Jerks reach the village of Kallow Mounds to speak with Thousand Bones about the artifact, but not before being invited to a banquet hosted by Chief One Life. And we, I think, are in the Kallow Mounds map.
Yep.
And we'll just wait for a second while Luke reboots. How are things now, Ahmed? All right, Luke's back in the call. Let's get his face.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
In Luke's spot. Great. Okay, so we've done a recap. I think the party was chilling out in some quarters that was provided to them by the Tribe of Bones leaders, and you were waiting for the evening where you were going to be guests at a banquet. There was a visiting Shirkasta Rakasta from another tribe that seemed to have been, well, tolerated, but seemed to be a bit more boisterous than the average Tribe of Bones members, and that was Krojun eats what he kills, is what he is called. Immediately, the oversized Rakastan seemed to size up Thurgus and has challenged him to some contest of strength or martial ability at the festivities this evening. Pharisee, do you have knowledge nature?
I do.
What is your bonus in knowledge nature, just in general?
Plus 22.
Yeah, Rakastans don't normally grow that big.
Yeah.
In the same way that Thurgus's people probably don't grow that big.
Yeah, interesting.
There's something off about Krojun. Maybe it's an item that he has, or maybe he's some sort of
seems to have a bit of the blood bear's blessing in him as well there, Thurgus.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the
scale
blood
of his
bear.
mass is maybe some cat god.
Could be,
Maybe he's just found a little item that helps him out.
Whatever it is, maybe I could rip it out of his chest and take it for myself.
I don't think that's what they're expecting at the dinner tonight. You're not serious, are you?
says Bookerbeck.
Oh, no, of course not, of course not.
Oh,
It happens to fall
You
out,
know,
though. You could pick it up.
is his heart for eating or for keeping?
I mean, his name is Eats What He Kills, right? So if I kill him, I feel like I got to do the guy a solid and, eat that fucker.
You shouldn't.
He will die as he lived.
You shouldn't kill him. Sephiroth's looking up from a book that he was reading.
But like, what if this culture takes it as an offence if I just like spare his life, and for the rest of his life he's known as that wussy little cat that everybody knows got his ass beat by a bear?
You might want to lose on purpose,
You have to kill him.
but I certainly encourage you to win.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe, yeah, I would say don't die. It'd be a delay for our plans, no doubt. If you have to kill him, be sporting about it, I suppose.
Yeah, sporting. That's a good term for it. Does anybody know like what the rules for this thing is?
I
No clue.
have
They
never.
haven't told us.
Perhaps you will learn tonight. I'm sure they'll give you.
What?
It seems possible, at least, that none of the people here know the
he's-
rules either, and Eat What He Kills is going to just tell you the rules.
I'll pull out a book and start flipping through it. Do we know the name of this test of strengths? What was it?
Well, you could look up
Thurgus, any
rituals of
idea? I'll
the-
look up from the book at him.
So you're asking your page-bound epiphany to tell you about tests of strength of
We're
who?
casting tests of strength.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
basically
his specific
In the
tribe.
tribe
the
of the sun.
Scaran
He
clan's
was
test
the-
of strength. Okay.
Yeah. My DC knowledge local, or what would this be? Planes.
This would be a knowledge history
that's
or a knowledge. Let me just check to see if geography still holds culture as part of the knowledge. I'm leaning towards knowledge history.
Either one will be the same.
Knowledge geography
Okay, I've
is
got history.
people. Now this would be more like history or knowledge local. Customs are under local.
27.
Okay, this is you flipping through
And
the
I get to
page-bound
look at this-
epiphany.
We're. Yeah, I think level. I think it's 1 minute now. I think it's 6. Sorry, I'm lost on the page here. Yeah, and I will get rounds per level, maximum 10, and then I get a plus 10 circumstance bonus on top of that, so it will be 37.
37. Okay. You know from this book that flips through. Apparently, the Scaran people have lots of tests, and they are a proud and somewhat insular people. They are basically a warrior culture, and some of these tests go back to honor specific historical things that have happened in their culture over time. Sometimes even their rights of leadership are determined by these tests. You were looking for something specifically that you thought Thurgus was going to be looking over dinner, but the way that you worded the question to your book was it gave you something much different. And the highest, or one of the most daring and only attempted by heroes, one of the proofs of strength of the Scaran people, made a fallen Scaran who is considered a mockstander, which you know now is the word for outsider, an honorable member of the tribes of Scaran. And let me give you a name. this you know that there are elders that are known as truth speakers that have to witness certain things happening before it will be accepted by the tribes. And there was a truth seeker that give me a second. Looking for the lore.
Consult the law. Scar and Truth Seekers.
Yeah, Scar and Truth Seekers. That's one thing you learn is that Scar and Truth Seekers are the ones that that carry weight, and they need to witness great tasks or great trials to gain the trust of, effectively, to gain good standing with the Scaran tribes. Apparently, the tribe of the Sun has the most, because of their lineage from the kings of old. The kings and queens of old have some of the most, insane trials to prove that you are a hero amongst the people. It is possible for non-Rakastan, non-cat folk to become heroes of the Scaran people. And there's a particular name, because you're looking at from a historical perspective, his name was Shirak. The legend of Shirak is of a great warrior and a great traitor to the Scaran people. He slew his own brother, a brave of even greater courage. And a crime against your own family is kind of like one of the higher crimes that Scarans think that you could commit.
Wait, this guy was a hero? He killed his brother, though?
He was a hero and then killed his brother and then was kind of outcast. Shirak was born again, like as a hero of the tribe, by going into the killing grounds of the great Cindermaw, the clan eater. He walked up to the beast carrying only a dagger, and without fear, he dove into the mouth of the beast and cut his way out of the beast's belly.
Sweet. Thurgus, you'll like this bit. Yeah, there's a great deal about their clan.
He returned to the clan and declared that he had been reborn. And to this day, only a couple of other people have ever gone to Cindermaw. Apparently, Cindermaw is really old, like this really big beast. And this is one way to be cleansed in fire, to prove oneself as a hero of the Scaran people.
Yes, well, there's a great deal in here, a lot of cultural references to these tests of strength, very important.
The picture of Cindermaw, let me get you a token, that you saw just kind of flick briefly by in the pages as you were trying to like read as your empty book filled with lore from the Bostera Badlands. I think I have a token for Cindermaw. Give me a moment. I might have made one, maybe. Let's see. You guys are on the Kallow Mounds. That's what Cindermaw looked like.
Oh.
And in the picture, the likely medium-sized hero Shirak was probably as big as one of the teeth.
That's good. Cool. All right.
Fun.
Maybe about a half dozen other games did flick through in the book. They seem to have a lot of games that involve like cabers or totem poles, like really tall columns or something like that. They seem to have these columns, and then the professor suspects that because they're kind of a fallen people, like they were once at this, like, led a small empire almost. These columns might be them making use of ruins, or maybe the ruins of past civilizations. And we got
Sorry.
Luke back.
I'm back. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, did you want to see
I
Cindermaw?
was gonna point out.
Cindermaw, the clan eater. Did I delete him? Let's see. There's Cindermaw, the clan eater.
Sorry, I'm on the wrong map.
And the size of Cindermaw is the hero is about as big as one of the teeth.
Yeah, I will.
About half a dozen
thing.
other games involve like big totem poles. Sometimes you have to touch the totem pole. Sometimes you're not supposed to. The totem poles are kind of like, maybe because they lived in the shadow of an older civilization, they had lots of columns. They would use these columns in feats of strength. Sometimes you have to touch them in some games. Sometimes you have to avoid them. Sometimes you have to balance them. They seem to have totem poles or big cabers or even columns that seem to favor a lot in feats of strength.
Professor will continuously ramble off this with his own suppositions for as long as Thurgus pays attention to him and keeps looking at him.
Well, you've got everyone's attention.
And we'll just start moving into just teaching Thurgus, like, history. Like, at some point it will have segued away from whatever he asked, and I will just be trying to teach a class.
Well, that was a very rambling lecture. I hope they're not going to feed you to some giant monster at dinner.
Yes.
I mean, if I get to cut myself out, but like, wait a minute, go back to that lesson of Shirak, or what's his name was.
The book. He was so frantically going through the book, and when the spell subsides, like there's no knowledge left in the book.
But like, how did he cut himself out? But then other people went and did the challenge to go find Cindermont. Did like he cut his way out, but then the thing was still alive?
Do I knowledge nature just know if there's more of these beasts in
well, knowledge nature or knowledge nature would probably be it. Give me 1 minute. You don't have knowledge local Bastera, do you?
No.
As a bard, I guess technically I can do it untrained.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting.
I can give you I'll give you a knowledge untrained. That
knowledge arcana would also be the thing to identify the thing that you saw.
The professor's an expert there.
Yeah, I'll ponder it for a moment, go quiet, sit and study the book for another minute, spell recall, page-bound epiphany, and then I will do 10 on the die for 54.
Okay, Cindermaw, the clan eater, is a beast that has been around for 1,000 years. It is the terror of the Cinderlands. It is some sort of fire-infused desert worm. You're pretty sure it's related to a purple worm. It is a massive creature that is very old. If heroes have gone into Cindermaw's belly and cut their way out, Cindermaw has survived the experience.
That information makes Thurgus a little scared.
As Thurgus is listening again, I'll start to just...
Cindermaw's belly is like walking into a smelting furnace. And like purple worms, he has a very, very dangerous, poisonous tail. The worm is so old that it's likely one of the largest creatures in the pearls.
That's pretty sweet.
It, as a fire-infused creature, probably doesn't like cold damage. And by the picture and what you've rolled, it could probably move in the sandy deserts, like underneath the sand and through the sand, like a burrowing creature. 54, there's an entire jewelry industry amongst the Rakastan tribes of picking up the glass that is left behind when Cindermaw swims through the sand.
Nice.
The heat and pressure from such a beast. They've called it Clan Eater. One of the clans of Rakastans has disappeared, attempting to hunt Cindermaw. There may be a modicum of intelligence in this great beast. Like, it's not just an animal.
Right, well, let's hope it's one of those cable tosses and not, fight your way out of Cindermaw's belly.
And then 54, that's an insane roll for a knowledge check about a creature. Tremor sense, so it would be able to sense movement among the ground of where you are, and it's probably immune to fire. And given that it's so old, it has some way of regenerating, be it fast healing or maybe just sunning itself or some way of healing quicker than normal.
The professor will launch into a new lecture on just Cindermaw. As long as he can go, he will just... I think for at least a little while, Thurgus might even be interested, enthralled perhaps.
Yeah, you have distracted him. You've managed to teach him something while he pays attention. Although he does regret giving Darian the Cloak of Flying.
Well, good thing we're not going anywhere into the deep deserts. We're not going anywhere into the deep deserts, are we?
I mean, if we're lucky.
I don't think so. There's Clan of the Moon we need to find, but they're probably not in the deep desert. Surely not.
I like his name. It means fiery mouth.
Ah. Acid, slimy, sticky maw would be your name when you become that large.
No, my name's Makronam.
Ah, that's true. You will always be Makronam, even when you're giant.
Oh, yeah, one day I'll grow really big and then you guys can ride inside me.
That would be very, very interesting.
Yeah, interesting is a word.
Oh,
Well, we've been inside one before, so...
Oh, yeah. We're just his little spawn.
Yes.
Yeah, you could live inside a Makronam. Oh, one day I'll be that old.
I should hope to be alive to see it myself.
Macronom's rocking back and forth, thinking weird, weird mimic thoughts.
Yes, well,
Oh dear. Well,
thank you. I am more than horrified for the day. I'm going to take a
Oh, don't be afraid, Bukerbeck. Haven't I murdered everything that's tried to attack you?
Oh, yes, yes. Look where it's gotten us.
I look around.
It's a nice room. It's clean.
we're treated
Yeah,
like
it's gotten us to a nice clean room.
That's not what I mean.
After dinner, is there a forge that we might use?
Zephyrus perks up.
What do you need forge for?
I was going to ask one of you to take this buckler that's a little too large for me and make it not a little too large for me, but keep the magic.
You seem to give Zephyros something to do. Like he likes crafting and does that, so he's looking at your shield and now he's making notes, and maybe that's something we'll do while Neil is not here, is he'll spend some time at the forge.
Nice.
what time of day is it right now?
It's middle of the afternoon. They've left you in these nice chambers. There are servants that do come to give you libations and some, small fruit trays.
How would anyone feel about stretching their legs a bit? I would like to observe this oasis a bit closer. It is built around one of Desnobia's tears, as legend holds it. Bride of the Titan. Some say the Titans, the pearls are a gift to her.
Yes, I think that seems like a fine thing to do with our time.
Yeah, all right.
Time for this dinner fight, and researched a bit.
Dinner fight.
I mean, am I supposed to be fighting tonight or tomorrow?
Wasn't it tonight?
I don't remember.
I think it might be tonight.
Yeah, all right.
Thurgus, you're always ready for the fight, though.
Yeah.
Come on, lad.
I shall think on what I can do to make you a little safer as well.
Just make sure you have a sturdy knife, though, if you have to cut your way out of Cindermar.
Oh, I've got a good knife for that.
Okay. So are you guys leaving your quarters?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and walk over to the oasis.
Okay, Zephyrus is going to stay behind to start working on planning out the shield. Thurgus, Professor, and Pharisee? Okay.
Yeah.
You do pass by the main large chamber where you had met Chief One Life and Ash Dancer and Wicked Claws. You do see Wicked Claws kind of sunning himself through a window. He does look at you guys as you're passing.
Hello there.
I think you identified him as a dragon. It looks like one of his wings has been injured or maybe even crippled.
Ooh.
Aside from that, he's a majestic-looking, smart lion-like creature. It sort of grins at you as you guys are walking by.
Lovely day, isn't it?
Toothy grin back.
Okay. It doesn't get up from its lounging, but it does watch you guys leave. You get to the front door of this place, and you can see Zemkos looks up. He recognizes you, and he's got 6 warriors that look like they're waiting, leaning on their weapons. He seems to be blocking your way out.
We would love to visit the pool and just reflect upon it, if we may.
This way.
You see that his 6 warriors do escort you around. They keep their distance, but you can tell that they are. Their job is to keep an eye on you guys if you're to leave. Your illusory driver, I think, has disappeared at this point. Have your settler wagons also disappeared?
Yeah, the familiar one concentrating on it.
Oh, he's still concentrating
on
on
it?
it?
Here the whole day.
Okay.
No, I think probably he would have disappeared at this point, but the wagons are there until probably this evening sometime.
Okay.
They probably last 11 hours, I want to say.
Where is the answer? The JEW door is the answer on, and then your Dream Lotus Leshy.
I have the answer.
Okay.
That's Dorian, right?
Yeah. I think that the door is probably with Zephyros in the chambers.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
and we'll have to bring the Dream Lotus in as well. Yeah.
all right. Yeah, Zemkos and his guards, they don't bother you if you go towards Desnobia's tier.
Can I bring the Dream Lotus with me?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get a
This is
drink,
interesting water, and it's a plant. I'm gonna give it a sip.
Yeah. Okay. So you
Hi.
you could hear
Hello, Pixel.
Pixel inside.
How are you doing?
Am I dreaming?
Ah, yes. Yes. You are connected to the dreaming. You can help others dream in this form.
Yes. Yes.
I found some very interesting water for you, too.
You notice as Pharisee picks up her familiar, the Dream Lotus kind of opens up from a bulb almost into a sleepy looking purple flower.
Nice.
You guys all have this strange remembrance of this weird taste in the back of your mouths as you were connected to the Dream Lotus before. And there's wafts of slight cinnamon-ish kind of incense from its pollen that reminds you of the Tower of Somnolence.
You're looking very healthy.
Okay,
That's wonderful.
She rustles sleepily. She is pleased by the by you talking to it and fawning over your familiar a little bit.
Look at you, a little bit of light, a little bit of water. Yes, this will be good.
Hey, Zemkos, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Am I allowed to put my feet in the water, or is there any sort of rules that we should, abide by? Don't mean no disrespect or nothing.
The spring of Desnobia is a gift to all in this village. You are honored guests at this point.
You do see that people have drawn water from it. That there are the oasis is big enough that people do take baths in it.
Great. I want to get in the water.
Okay.
And when I get in the water and I feel like a comfortable, good wading distance.
Where's your familiar?
He should be with me. I don't know where.
Is he around? Okay.
Token is. Yeah, we cured him.
He's a water guy.
Oh, the water bear. Yes.
He's the blood bear. He's made of the red water.
He's going to want to know about this.
What's his name again?
Christopher?
Christopher. There we go. Sorry, I just need to search for him.
I'm
There
going
he
to
is.
drink water. I'll be right back.
Oh,
There we go.
it's pretty good water. Oh.
Hey, you know anything about this, mate?
Oh, you want me to go have a look around? Oh.
Yeah, go for it. Knock yourself out. Just don't go too far.
Okay. Christopher jumps off your shoulder, kind of lands at the edge of the water. He gingerly and awkwardly kind of tests the water with his foot and then goes kind of plunging and disappearing into it. At that point in time, there was this strange shadow that kind of bounced across Desnobia's tier. Like Christopher's presence did get something's attention.
Okay, I'm gonna try a little harder to get something's attention. Did I see where the shadow might have gone?
It was kind of like the shadow of like a cloud passing overhead, but really big.
Okay, where like vaguely in the realm of where I think that might have been. I want to use my once per day waveform that I got as a gift,
Okay.
and I want to turn into a crashing wave and charge in the direction of wherever that shadow was, and basically just crest into a giant bear wave and charge through the lake, and then rematerialize closer to the middle. Like, if there's something cool here, I want to try and show, like, hey, I have this gift of water too. Maybe I can kind of prove myself to water or something. But he's curious to see if that affinity goes any further.
And the gift of water came from the Olympian god Poseidon, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I did.
But I don't know shit about gods.
And Poseidon
Good diplomat, dude.
Poseidon was an Olympian, and the Olympians historically were enemies of the Titans, and Desnobia is a Titan's bride. Okay.
This is gonna be great.
Thurgus turns into water like a watery wave and disappears into Desnobia's tear.
In theory, waveform only lasts one round. So it could be concerning.
You've seen Thurgus do this before, and he should have surfaced by now.
I will. I came out here to inspect this pond. I'm going to cast Arcane Sight, and while Thurgus is doing whatever he's doing, I'm just going to start walking around looking into the tier with Arcane Sight. So
okay.
I think I might see Thurgus turn into the wave.
The water does have some transmutation and conjuration magics about it, very faint. However, you see where Thurgus is a transmutation effect, the waveform.
Yeah, it's transmutation.
Okay, you see this swirl of transmutation where Thurgus turned into a wave of water, and you see that it's overwhelmingly being overpowered by a conjuration.
Oh, I do believe Thurgus may have set something off in there. Thursday, are you seeing this? He transmuted himself into a wave, and now it seems some conjuration magic is attempting to overpower him.
Yes. I'll say an Aquan. Oh, water! We appeal to you to return our friend Thurgus to us, and play nice around this place of peace.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check as you're trying to
smooth talk a lake.
You're trying to smooth talk what might You're trying to smooth talk what might have been considered an invasion by a alien entity or an enemy entity. So
yeah, real smooth. He's cool, dude. He's cool. He's just trying to show you he's water too, bro.
Exactly. That's his thought process. I'm water, you're water. We're both water. It's fine.
Yeah.
I met your friend the other day. He was cool.
There's the diplomacy out at 40. That's not bad.
Take that, water. Really slid in there.
Oh.
With this conversation here.
Pixel, maybe you can help as well. I'll submerge Pixel in the water just at the edge. Kind of dip the feet of another.
Okay, so you guys are poking this thing with all sorts of. Yeah, you've got a reaction. First, Thurgus has disappeared. You've beseeched the water, and there's a ripple from the water that didn't come from any wind or any natural effect. Nobody walked in the water where there was a weird ripple. You think you had some response. Thurgus, when you plunged yourself into the water, you found yourself going really deep into the water, and it was very dark. You sort of lost track of your familiar as well. You actually don't feel the bond, like in the same way that when your familiar is too far away. You wash yourself into a place that is sort of like an endless field of very, very black obsidian ground. It is very dark in here. You get a little bit of a sense that there is maybe a few inches of water along the ground. Like you may have brought water into here. There is a presence up ahead that you sense long before you actually see. The presence, there is a woman crying. I'm just going to bring Thurgus to a different map.
You're not even on the map anymore. What are you gotten yourself into, buddy?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to stab your way out of this giant mythical snake here, buddy.
Just
Maybe
murder
be a
some
hero.
bride.
Just stab through this water.
Good times. Good times.
It was a bold move, and I love it, though, by the way.
Yeah, I do like it. That's exactly the
The
kind of
thing is, like,
shenanigans.
Thurgus is not very smart. He's wise, and like,
Yeah.
but like his ideas are not good.
Oh shit.
There seems to be a very large entity up ahead. She is doubled over in either pain or in grief, and she seems to be crying into her own hands. There is water that is dripping from her hands onto the ground in significant quantities.
Hello, are you all right?
Thurgus, given that you have a divine connection to the Bloodbear, you recognize an entity that is either a proxy or is a divine entity. It seems echoey in here, though, and she may not be fully paying attention to you.
Okay. Can I get within range to attempt to cast Calm Emotions?
Yeah, you begin to approach, and as you're approaching, something weird is happening to the water. You're actually getting deeper into the water as you're trying to approach the goddess.
It's as soon as I get within like 20-foot radius, I want to try and cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. Yeah, you're like almost half swimming in this really salty brine. There are things floating in the salty brine. At first you thought they're fish. They might be eels. And when one of the eels touches you, you are overwhelmed with thoughts that are not your own. This woman is grieving about the death of a relative. Oh, no, she's regretting the day she ever looked at some other great being. Oh, she's now grieving that wars were fought after her. Now she is grieving the suffering of millions of people in her name.
Overcome with a whole bunch of emotions.
As each of these eels kind of like wisps back around you, you realize there are hundreds, if not thousands, of eels of regret flowing in the tears of this goddess.
Thurgus does something that he doesn't normally do, and he chooses not to take attacks of opportunity against the eels.
All right, you go to cast Calm Emotions, and Poseidon, is that you?
I don't mean to sound offensive, but I kind of think I was touched by him. Does that count?
I thought You were here to save me.
I could try.
I thought you were here to kill the one that keeps me.
I could try that too, but my odds sound probably less likely.
He did all of this for me. I never asked for it.
It's all right. It's likely not your fault.
It is my fault.
Do you want to talk about it?
My fault. They all died. There was a war. It was supposed to be the war to end all wars.
Okay. Did it end?
I don't know.
Was there a particular side you were fighting for?
I think they're all dead.
Is this the Olympians you're talking about?
My brothers, my sisters, my father and my mother. Why? Why would you let them keep me here with them?
I might be speaking out of turn, but this is just me putting some things together. When I met that bloke with the fishtail, he was very much still talking, and he was chained to like a rock or something. So maybe they're not dead; they're just prisoners like you, and they just, split you apart to make you real sad.
Aspects, figments, tiny bits of power kindling. No, they are not my kin. They are what is left. They are what was stripped from them in the war. They are what the Titans could steal. I was locked away with them. I should have never married him.
Do you have like Olympian lawyers? Could you get like a divorce?
I don't know where they are. I have not heard them sing. I have not heard the thunder in so long. There are remnants of them. She is of no help.
She who?
Hecate.
Uh-huh. Right.
I did not mean to do this to you.
I'm sure she understands. It's all right. It's all right.
No, you poor mortals.
Actually, I feel like I'm doing pretty well these days.
I did not mean to.
I'm gonna try and distract her a little bit and bring up some gods that I have met.
If I could not be gifted creation, he remade it.
He who?
My husband and his family. If they could not rule creation, they would make their own.
So is that why everyone's talking about all the pearls getting gobbled up? Because the Titans are gonna like start over or something?
My pearls were a gift, but they are also a curse.
Right. Well, you see, I'm kind of on a mission from like the Blood Bear and Halcyon.
You are not from here.
Bishopay. No, I'm not. I'm visiting.
Where did you come from?
Place
And you can see
called...
that she seems to want to like cover her face, but her hand is now reaching towards you.
I came from a place called the Beastlands. I kind of like back up a little bit, but I continue to try and concentrate on the aura because I want to try and see if I can just keep up concentration on calm emotions.
You're not from here.
No, I'm a traveler, and I'm just, trying to find my place in the pearls, so to speak.
How did you get in?
Well, you see, remember I was talking about that bloke Poseidon? He gave me a gift, and because I said I would help him and I would do right by him. And so I figured, hey, look, this water, I'll use the water thing and say hello. And then I kind of got fucked off over here.
You're doomed like the rest of us. While it is very rare, it is not unheard of things coming here.
I mean, it's a bit of a pessimistic approach.
But if you were to come here, you may never leave. That is the way of this prison. That is the way of the Titan's punishment. That is a way of this Syrian dungeon.
Okay. I mean, never say never. I just got here, so I've got a lot of stuff I could try before, we say I'm gone for good.
You came here when?
When?
Yes. How long ago have you come?
I don't know. It's been a couple of minutes. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. But, I was supposed to have dinner, so it's not...
Her hand... Well, she's still covering her face, and she's, reaching around for you a little bit more aggressively now.
You know what? I'm just going to do the compassionate thing and reach out my hand like this. I feel like this isn't a bad thing. I'm just, in my head, this person is hurting. Maybe she just needs, the touch of someone else. And it could be a trap, but I feel overwhelmed, and especially with all this grief hitting me, maybe she just needs physical contact for the first time in God knows how long.
So her hand seizes around your hand, and it actually feels like she's kind of clutching your brain at the same time.
Regrets.
It is an overwhelming power that has grabbed you. You do hear Pharisee's whispers into the place, kind of reverberating around.
So, how did you get here?
And she's not taking very good care as she's doing it. She is rifling around in your brain like a mad person scouring through a library, throwing books and tossing them open.
I'm going to try and bring my memories to my surface thoughts.
Okay.
And
the pain...
walk through the process of,
The pain subsides. Her questions are coming so quick for Thurgus's mind that, you show her where you came from, and she's like, generations. And then she asks about your parents, and you talk about your parents, and she asked about your grandparents, and she stops there.
There. Your grandparents stood up.
And she's actually, through your blood, showing you the event of these two bears peacefully eating berries in a grove.
Origin.
And there's this horrible strike as something hits the land and blasts the trees with all sorts of blood, and you see it. You actually see the blood bear's spear struck the ground and turned your grandparents into... Well, the impact might have actually killed them, but then the entity inside the spear remade them, and they stood up.
Dude.
Cool.
That's heavy. That's heavy, man.
Where did this? She doesn't. She found it curious, but she's like, where did the spear come from? And she's now looking up as your grandparents were looking up at the heavens, and her attention seems to go away from your brain and is now not even rifling through the library anymore. It's like she's left. She's still holding on to you, but she's left, and she's now thinking about the Beastlands, specifically thinking about the surface of the sky of the Beastlands.
As in, like, she's trying to picture it as a pearl?
Yep. And she thinks that this spear came from the outside of the bubble and cracked through the ceiling or cracked through the roof of the Beastlands.
Got it.
She seems very confused as to where the spear came from.
That's something I would very much like to know myself.
Little.
And then I'll try and go through the memories of what I had in the Dreamlands, where like there was the fire and the fragments and the clans, and like I'll try and like give her the info that I know afterwards.
Okay.
You know, different clans protecting different fragments of the spear, but like it's not exactly useful.
She shares with you one thing. She actually, like, there's a glimpse of... You thought skies were this endless thing with stars in them, but apparently the sky has a roof, and she shows you the crack where the spear came from, but something else seemed to have also latched on to the outside of the pearl, and was like leaking in like a tentacly black tar.
Oh.
Like something else was trying to also get in.
I have a hard time comprehending this.
That is what plagues his nightmares.
I mean, that's a thing of nightmare. You're gonna give me nightmares.
This thing, it is from beyond. Beyond the place where the spear came from. This thing was attracted to here. For us to get answers, the thing must be defeated. This creature, this Otra, this thing that haunts the dreams of Iambulus, the Titan of Dreams.
Okay, well, if you would just help me get out of this place, then I will go and hunt down the Nightmare of Iambulus. That sounds like a good plan, right? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go.
My husband would be very angry if the god Iambulus woke. For is not this creation but a dream?
Yeah, I'm not a philosopher. I can't really answer that one. But I can tell you I've killed a lot of people inside the dream, so I can make people stop dreaming. I know that for sure.
Or maybe I should simply eat you.
I think that's a terrible idea because Poseidon gave me a gift, and that would be like spitting at your only memory of your family. That seems like a terrible idea.
Aspect.
Yeah,
Figment.
well, Aspect, you know. He seemed like a decent bloke either way.
Yes. I will not consume you in grief.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
But you will fight the creature from beyond, the nightmare of Iambulus.
You know, normally I'm down for these sort of things, but that thing was sucking on a pearl. That sounds a bit out of my league.
Yes.
Could you make me the size of a pearl? Could I be that big and then go and fight him? I think that's a great plan. You make me the size of a pearl, and then I'll go and fight the nightmare. That sounds like a deal. That's a good quest.
She has a memory of a place that looked like this
You're doing great.
this gigantic domed room where these large beings had little clay figurines of heroes and monsters and would take them out of cubby holes and put them onto this weird scrolling map. And you could see her reach up and put you into one of these cubby holes.
Sweet.
And she has the thought,
Yes. Perhaps I should play a game.
Is that the same chessboard that I saw with Baishipe and Halcyon? I want to say I saw like a chessboard and Bumpa Dumpa Dumba was like moving pieces around with all of his arms or something.
it could be.
Does it look similar?
The concept was similar.
Hmm.
The goddess Desnobia has decided not to eat Thurgus.
Oh, hell yeah. She's about to make him a champion.
Well, that's good.
The Titan bride, the Titan goddess of marriage, woman, intrigue, and for whom the pearls were gifted, a goddess of nobility, charm, and trickery, has decided that she has now her piece to play in this game.
Very nice.
For the answers that she gave you, put at the top of your sheet that you have a Gias quest, some unknown Gias quest from Desnobia.
Oh, great.
Nice. Nice.
That's not going to bite me in the ass.
I mean, she's this strong woman, this mother goddess. Is this the ultimate mama bear in the sky here that you've just been selected by?
Maybe.
Like, she's like angry woman's scorn almost, right? It's maybe like pretty aligned with the whole bear motif.
You have this dreaded feeling that the second if you've ever see this tentacled creature, you're gonna want to fight it.
That sounds great. That's the only part that I'm here for.
As she's putting you back, you notice
Find
as you're at the bottom of this oasis and you're trying to like swim to the top. You notice that your sword kind of tumbled from your belt.
I hold my breath and I try and get it back.
Okay, you guys can see Thurgus. He's futzing around in the.
I think he's all right.
He's back. Excellent.
Where am I?
Can I see what's he down there doing?
Yeah, he just sort of appeared, and it looked like he was swimming to the top, and then no, he's going back down.
I'm not leaving that behind.
He's fine.
Hey, you dropped
Hold
your
his
sword.
breath.
I think I went into the dirt over there.
I will use my empathic link
Sure,
to
you
share an
never
emotion
forgot
with
about
Christopher. That is, shut the fuck up. I got to get my sword.
Okay, yeah, Christopher starts swimming like the gummy bear he is towards where your sword is. Your sword disappeared into the silt at the bottom of Desnobia's tier. You start to panic a little bit as you're like, where is it? Christopher dives underneath and is searching around for it, and for a moment, Christopher is gone as well.
I don't feel him? Or I just can't see him?
You just can't see him. He's there, but he became awestruck in his emotions.
Okay. I will head to the direction where I felt him last, because I feel like he saw something that I haven't yet. And I got to get my fucking sword.
Okay, what is your sword?
It is I have named it tentatively the Blood Sickle. It is a +1 sharding throwing greatsword. It's made out of adamantine.
+1 sharding throwing greatsword. Okay.
Sharding greatsword. I just have throwing written down on there because it gives it a range increment. But yeah, a +1 sharding greatsword. I can put it in chat.
Yep.
There we go.
fortuitous little dip you took in this pool here, buddy.
You just gotta follow your gut. I honestly thought that I was gonna end up pissing something off. Who knows? Maybe I still did.
Seems to be something Thurgus just likes to really get deep into that water. Just like whenever we come across water, like the 2 times it's happened, you are right there at the bottom looking around.
Dude, have you ever seen bears play in the water?
I mean, they go after those salmon pretty.
I love water. Come on now.
Yeah. That's probably right. That's probably right.
Okay, you find that Christopher seems to be, when you finally find him, it looks like he's barfing all over your sword. Like he's kind of at the bottom of the lake, spewing stuff into your sword, which is all getting absorbed into the blade.
I will send him question, curiosity.
Oh, busy! Oh, I think she's awakening Poseidon's power.
Sweet.
Fear, curiosity, intrigue.
Let's see.
Meanwhile, we're on the beach like, is he drowning? He seems like he's not drowning. I don't really want to go in there. Like,
I knew I should have cast life bubble before he did dumb shit in the water.
He seems good though.
Well, I could potentially let me go ahead and summon some nixies and get water. Oh wait, I don't need water breathing cast on me.
Okay.
I can hold my breath for a while.
Yeah.
The spewing of power subsides, and you notice that there are some new runes on your blade. Christopher seems to be relaxed and like almost like relieved, like maybe this power had been pent up inside him, and he just goes swimming back to your shoulder.
Good night.
I'll reach out for it and try and make our way back to the surface if I can draw it.
Yeah, your sword seems to have some weird barnacles growing on it, but like it's been sitting there for a long time. And what are you guys doing on the? Yeah, you could see Thurgus coming back up. It's like he dropped something and he's swimming back up.
Oh,
I
good.
think we're just hanging out looking at him.
Drink it in, Pixel. This is associated with the god Desnobia.
You do notice that Ash Dancer was watching this at this point in time.
Who is?
Ash Dancer.
She's
Do I make it? Do I make it back to the
Yeah,
coast?
you make it back to the surface.
Oh my god, you guys. Okay. I know this is going to sound crazy, and it's probably going to throw a lot of things into question. Like, you're going to be like, wait a minute, did he really meet Poseidon that last time? Because this time he's definitely full of shit. But I swear to God, I met Desnobia, and she was like crying like a little bitch, right? She's like, oh, everything's my fault. Oh, I got gifted all these pearls, and oh, it's all terrible. People were fighting wars. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Maybe I could help. And she's like, no, you can't. Let me scramble your brains. And so she reached out, and I was like, well, she probably needs a shoulder to cry on, right? So I let her. But then she's like, tell me about your grandparents and what was wrong with them. How come they were bears? But then they started walking, and I was like, I don't know. But that spear with all the tentacles in the sky looks really creepy. And she was like, yeah, you got to fight that. I'm going to make you as big as a pearl, and then we're going to go on a quest. And now I'm in the game, so let me get this board game and put the puzzle pieces out. And now, fuck off, and we're totally doing this. And I swear to God, it all happened, and it's all real. And I leave out like a ton of information.
Yes.
And I got sick on his sword.
Oh yeah, and then Christopher vomited all over my sword, and now it's old and barnacle-y.
Huh, how strange. Christopher, you have some, I'll say in Aquan, interesting powers, don't you?
Oh, yep.
Oh my. Well, I see.
I swear to God it all happened.
And I say it loud enough because I want everyone nearby to hear
Yeah,
that I went and visited Desnobia.
the Zemkos, his warriors, and a bunch of bystanders are all
Everyone knows.
slack-jawed and looking. You do see that Ash Dancer overheard Thurgus's boasting. She lingers for a moment, and then she disappears into the building.
I've just got this weird sort of thing where like all these gods are like, Thurgus, be an inquisitor, go on a quest and like murder tons of people in our name, and it's like the greatest calling ever. Remember that one time I met Bomba Domba Domba and Halcyon and you know all these gods are just like, Thurgus, do what you do best, kill a bunch of fuckers, and we're gonna point you over there. As long as I keep getting pointed in directions with bad people, I feel like I got it made.
Good news, Thurgus. We have a habit of attracting bad people to the direction that we are headed.
I think I found my purpose.
Excellent.
You say Desnobia is in the bottom of this well? I'll continue my arcane sight and like peer towards the bottom. Perhaps there is a gate down there.
Oh, she's not down there exactly. I feel like, you know, I got the impression that because I used that gift that Poseidon gave me, that allowed me some sort of like link or bridge between the two of them, and she thought I was Poseidon, so maybe she summoned me. I don't know if there's a gate or how all that magic stuff works, but I can tell you that she was like, oh, is that Poseidon? Oh, and so I think that was what threw her off.
I'll keep concentrating with the arcane sight on the pond.
Desnobia and Poseidon wouldn't exactly be natural allies, right? The Olympians overthrew the Titans. And Poseidon's one of the Olympian gods, so maybe you seem to have gotten somewhat lucky to have touched both pantheons there.
Professor, you do see that where Pixel is drinking from the fountain, there seems to be a bunch of conjuration magic flowing into her roots at this point.
Oh, it seems the god is blessing you as well, Pixel. Tell us, do you feel the power of Desnobia flow into you?
Yep, it's like somebody is rapidly teaching your familiar spells.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
We'll let that go on. I'll detect magic and confirm the professor's theory here, but yes, I'm 100% happy for that to happen.
There are two spells that are being pushed into Pixel. One of them is Cloak of Dreams, and the other one is Greater Dispel Magic.
I'll kneel down and examine the water closer. Right on the edge here.
Okay.
And I will reach out the hand with the arcane bonded ring and the skeleton pinky and put my hand in the water, cup some up, and drink it out of the skeleton hand. It tastes like bone broth. It burns immensely.
It hurts.
Well, as the deity of marriages...
Is she in the ring? I think she's in
You're
the ring.
married to your work, Professor? a holy matrimony?
All right. There seems to be a cloud cover that happens very quickly. With all of this divine connection going on, perhaps Desnobian's husband has taken notice. Her power flees from the edge of the pond where you guys are. And Henry, you are full of brooding and dark thoughts as some sort of cloudy storm is rolling in quickly. This seems to surprise the catfolk of the Kallow Mounds, and you notice that a bunch of them are now running around, trying to tie things down and get people indoors.
Storm's coming, Professor. Is that your doing?
No. I'm overcome with these brooding thoughts. I'm just trapped in my own head. I'm just angry and just perturbed.
All the time that your family relationships have disappointed you or annoyed you seem to be coming at the same time.
Never enough. It was always him who was the favorite. I always got the scraps. Never enough time for me.
All right, and what was the artifact that you, or the thing that you touched the water with?
It is
The arcane bond ring of the necromancer?
Yeah, grandfather's old arcane bonded ring. It's the awakened ring of the necromancer. It's got 2 powers, 5 unlocked, and it's got 6 hit die worth of assorted imps souls. I think it's unlocked from sacrificing. It was in the bottom of the house.
Professor, as you're brooding, as people are running around, like they seem to be panicking. This seems to be some sort of desert storm that was not predicted, and it looks like it might be bad. People are running into the town. The guards are no longer guarding you, and Professor, you know that the storm is for you, and something in the storm is coming.
I'll stand up and I'll walk out into whatever the clearing that will give me the best view of the storm coming on.
Oh yeah, you could climb one of these towers if you wanted.
Yeah, I will walk towards the tower. And
after some panic, Zemko says, "A storm is coming. We're going to move the festivities inside," and he's inviting you to move inside.
I'll just walk past him. I'm brooding. If I say anything, I'll say something mean and condescending.
We'll join you shortly. The
Rumble.
professor is academically interested.
Okay, Zemkos doesn't care. He says, "You should get it. If there's anything that of value in your wagons, you should get it."
What about Tech?
Tech is a survivor.
He's outside in the storm.
All right, good luck, little buddy.
If he relinquishes his weapons and agrees to be penned for the evening, he can come inside and take shelter here.
I will fly over and give him the news, and if he chooses to join or not is up to him. If not, we'll find him a place of shelter.
Okay. You fly up to Tech. You do see that...
Hold the Dream Lotus for me, please.
You fly over to Tech. You do find him up on the hill. He is looking at the storm. "My queen, this is most unnatural. It come from nowhere."
Yes, we've touched the waters and they've done some strange things. This one seems to be coming for the professor, but it's likely to be a bad storm.
"We should teleport away, my queen."
Indeed we should.
"Where you will be safe."
I will be safe inside here, but you would not... It would be good if you could find a place of shelter, don't you think?
"Furry meat afraid of Tech Sarakagat."
Yes. They want something stupid. They want you to leave your weapons and live in a pen. But I can teleport you to someplace much nicer and then come back and pick you up in the morning. You could go to the cave where the Behir lived.
"My claws and mandibles are weapons. They cannot take those from me."
They can't. If you're willing to come inside, you're welcome.
"I will give my queen my weapons."
Understood.
Okay, he coughs up 2 double-bladed swords and a bunch of A master quarterstaff,
Exactly, yeah.
four daggers, 5 javelins, and a keen dagger that acts as a
Some
dagger
of
venom.
these things I can put into my haversack.
Okay, yeah.
Some of these things I can wrap up and carry with me.
Okay.
Yes, let us go then. I'll walk with you.
Excellent, my queen.
All right, we'll bring him inside then.
Is this magic you're making?
This is not this. This I think is something to do with the professor's past. Everyone's past is catching up with them a bit.
Okay. There are 2 very nervous cat folk that are escorting Tex Sarakagat to basically the a damp 15 by 15 foot room with a heavy door on it in the base of this tower.
We'll move the wagons off to the side to give them a little bit of shelter by the walls.
Okay. They do lock the door. Tech just watches the door close. And then the 2 of them stand guard.
Don't get any ideas. It wouldn't work out well for anybody.
Okay. You have an intimidate?
You don't need to worry, but I do.
Give me an intimidate. Mouthing off to some guards.
26.
They give you a look like they're already on edge because of the storm. They look a little disappointed, maybe because they have to stand guard down here. And they're a little taken back as the guest is now threatening them. They both want to like go away, but their duty is to stand here and guard.
If you need to go in for shelter, Tech will keep you safe.
That frightens them more than anything you've said so far.
Toodaloo, Tech. We'll see you soon.
We're not going to kill your queen. We're going to stand guard.
And the other one bobs its head.
Yeah, I'll head back towards the professor and Thurgus.
Okay.
Thurgus, why don't I trade you this pile of weapons for this plant?
The hustle and bustle by the time you get back, people are taking in their carts, moving in laundry, battening up the hatches, lashing things down, forcing some of the livestock into some of the buildings. You do see that a considerable number are going into the main building. And once inside, people are just kind of gathering, they're chatting, they're breaking open casks full of dried fruit, as well as some sort of spiced wine. And it looks like the way that they get through sandstorms or desert storms is by having a feast and mingling.
I thought I was going towards the tower to see the.
You're gonna go in.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna ignore all people talking to me. I'm just kind of mad, grumbling to myself, walking towards the tower. As I get closer and as the storm gets louder, I'm gonna yell progressively louder to myself. I think I was overlooked, always for the academy, always they overlooked. I was a legacy. And I will just be furious with the power as the storm gets closer. I'm just gonna just ride that storm. I just feel the emotion bubbling up in me as it approaches, and I am not gonna resist it. I'm gonna pour in all of my own. The professor has this jovial front, but there is years of abuse and neglect that are buried deep in a way that I try and forget.
Does the professor have a deity?
Himself.
That's right, he worships himself.
He worships the idea that one day he can become a god transcend all of this. Ooh, hero point.
This hubris is heroic. Okay, so we're gonna put this into we're gonna put this into the tank because I don't know if you're you could use that in a moment. All right, the storm is growing. Whatever is coming in the storm is for you, but it's not here yet.
Can we protect him?
Professor! Fair as you were fluttering back, you saw the professor climb to one of these towers. There were a couple of half-hearted attempts to get the old man to come in, but as soon as he started his ranting, they backed off.
Do you want me to bring him back?
Oh, he's got quite mad, hasn't he? Oh.
Yeah, he has.
He can teleport. It may be a thing he needs to do. The waters...
Yeah, but look, what if this is a terrible idea and he gets like smoked or something?
Oh, it could easily be a terrible idea, but it might still be something he needs to do. We might want to protect him from lightning, though, if we can.
Okay, I'm gonna head over there. I'm gonna like make my way up the stairs, look at the professor, pat him on the back, and be like, yeah, mate, you do what you gotta do, and cast resist energy, electricity, and fuck off back to the building.
Okay. As you guys go back into the building, you do see Zemko speaking to Ash Dancer, who is also speaking to Chief One Life, and Thousand Bones is also there. They are definitely talking about what you guys were doing at Desnobia's tier.
Hey,
Yep.
Hey, I got permission to walk in that puddle of water. I just want to clarify that if this is anybody's fault, Zemkos' fault.
Getting into some of the liquor is Krojun. He seems to have claimed one of these big casks to himself. He should be done that cask pretty soon. They are preparing for a feast, but these four seem to be really almost like they're arguing about what they saw or what happened. Thousand Bones is inching his way over to your group.
Is there a table where we should sit, Thousand Bones?
Yeah, he's asking you to join the kind of like the end of this really long table at the center. There are other people that are standing at other tables or makeshift seats all around the building, but there is one very large main table. You're kind of sitting at opposite of where you imagine Chief One Life is going to sit.
I'll set up Pixel as a centerpiece on
the tower. Wicked Claws is watching you guys as you're speaking to Thousand Bones. It's like he's waiting for something bad to happen. There's definitely people that are on edge.
I'll sit wherever he tells me to sit.
Thousand Bones comes up to you in like the most peaceful way possible, and I hear you've had an interesting afternoon.
Oh man, it was crazy.
Indeed. The waters of your oasis are a source of considerable latent power.
It has been many generations since we've had a priestess or one who could speak to Desnobia through those waters. And she chose to speak to you.
He looks you up and down.
I don't take that as an insult. I'll be like, I know, right? Man, it's crazy. I'm chosen by like so many gods.
Tell me about this. He says he sees he had questions, but a boast that you're chosen by gods. Thousand Bones seems to be a spiritual man. He does not seem to seem to mind.
So it all started when I was a cub, right? I was like, oh, the blood bear is pretty great, and I gotta make sure that I protect my people and stuff. So I got big and strong. I was gonna defend, my tribe and stuff. Then I was part of a diplomatic mission, and we're like, oh, we're coming here to say hello and stuff. But then all my people died, and I was like, vengeance. And then when I found this group of people, they helped me kill a whole bunch of people, get my vengeance. I went to bury my old master, and when I went and buried him, then I saw the blood bear, and I saw Halcyon, and I saw all these different gods of the inherited races, and they was like, look, Thurgus, you got to go and form up an inquisition. You got to protect all of the little fuzzy people and make sure that they don't get murdered by all those creepy alchemists. And I was like, yeah, that's a plan. And so that's pretty much what happened.
I see.
That's the gist.
You speak of alchemists. Do you mean the alchemists of Grand Station?
Oh, yeah. Fuck those guys.
He raises an eyebrow. He glances at Pharisee, like, is this true? Or
Several of them quite specifically, in fact. But,
may the enemy of my enemy be my friend.
Do you hate alchemists too?
There are growing concern amongst the Scaran people that we are going to beat the drums of war against your Grand Station.
Oh man, those alchemists were cutting up so many of our kind, trying to figure out what makes us tick. I don't know what their big plan was, but they was carving up a lot of inherited peoples, and I was just not having it.
you are a people of summer, particularly your sun tribe and Grand Station and its leader are people of winter. Autumn would be caught in the middle, unfortunately. But hopefully autumn will be what persists in the end.
Yes.
Summer wars and winter starvation, neither of these are good for the people.
This storm, do you know what has brought it on?
The professor has powerful ancestors. Some darkness in that family tree. Perhaps Desnobia saw some of that in him, and is bringing a cleansing waters to him.
Give me a diplomacy check or a bluff. Part of what you said is true, part of it's not. You could do one you want. You're trying to placate and calm the situation, basically.
They're the same. 1d20 plus 21. Well, they're the same if I don't have my bluff buff up, which I don't.
Got it.
31.
Okay, Thousand Bones likes that answer and that he might have now a way to sell this to his leadership without, ruining your evening.
Yeah, we're trying. The professor has a way of making things work out in the end. And we'll use all of our power to protect him and you.
Yeah, he's more of an ends justifying the means kind of bloke. And I just got kind of nod, trying to follow along with what Thursday's saying.
That doesn't that doesn't make Thousand Bones feel any better, but you did have a good past with him, and he just bobs his head, and he seems to be thinking. He does wander back over to Zemkos, who seems to have had to explain something to Ash Dancer and One Life. He is now sitting off at one of the side tables. He shoots you guys an annoyed look, but doesn't say or do anything further to Pharisee and Thurgus. Wicked Claws is no longer grinning at you guys, but you could tell that he has maybe been assigned to keep watch over the group of you now. Krojun comes thumping down right beside Thurgus.
So, I guess we're gonna have to play a different game. An indoor game.
I don't remember what game I agreed to this morning, so fine by me.
He slaps your back a little bit. He gives you a bit of a shake. You could tell he's trying to figure out how strong you are.
Okay, I will try and keep my center of gravity low and just try and shake as little as possible, but like play it off like I'm not. Like,
Okay, give me a escape artist or a bluff.
16.
16? Okay, well, he gives you a good shake, and it'll be a good contest, whatever it is. Maybe I'll break your arm over this table.
Yeah, good fucking luck with that.
I would never.
Hey, I've got a question for you. This came up today because I was trying to be real polite to your people and stuff, right? But, like, if we got in a contest and I had to fucking murder you, would that be appropriate, or am I supposed to stop and, like, let you beg for your life? Which one is it? I don't want to offend anyone here.
All chatter in the hall has come to a screeching halt, and everyone is now looking at... are you trying to intimidate him? Yeah, give me an intimidate.
I slide Pixel a little bit further away.
25.
We'll see who'll do the killing.
No, but, like, it's a serious question.
Your contest surely shouldn't result in anyone's deaths, right?
I was just wanting to know, like, is it to the death, or is it till someone says, "Oh, mercy, I'm just a poor little kitten," you know, whatever.
You're not my enemy.
This seems to piss him off a little bit. He is getting up.
Yet.
Okay. Right. Well, I seem to have had the opposite effect then. Sorry, mate, but still doesn't answer my question.
he gets up. He did not like that. People seem like there's kind of a bit of a like a whispering, and then they slowly return to their conversations when the two large beasts in the room stop. Apparently the professor is relishing in this storm. The storm is angry, it is full of wind, and it reminds you of one of the storms that when you were an archaeologist long ago, your first foray, and you were so young then, and you had an investor, and you had like enough to buy gear, and you had some porters and like a camel, and you were all ready to go and start unearthing things when a storm had rolled in and kind of ruined your first expedition. This storm reminds you of that. The grit and scouring sands that are blowing, the dry crackle of lightning in the sky, the rage that you felt for all that prep to be just blown away in the wind and covered in sands.
Ruined! My whole career ruined because of one storm! I was forced to buy trinkets in the market like a tourist!
You hear something in the wind, Professor.
Oh.
There's this groaning of the ground or something in the sky. There seems to be 3 voices in the wind.
I'll stop yelling for a moment and listen.
Ungrateful.
I'll continue to listen. Did all 3 voices say the same word or just one?
One of them. Wait a second, I'm just looking something up.
I don't know if you saw, but Ahmed dropped a boon.
Oh no, I accepted it. Don't worry, I saw it.
Nice.
Ungrateful. says this hate-filled voice. Yes, we should destroy them. We gave them this after all. No, let them die in neglect. Let them kill themselves.
There seems to be, like, 3 mad voices that seem to be coming from the same being.
There's a faint familiarity to the voices talking. It's almost like the professor's own mental process, where there are fragments and slivers of himself whenever he thinks through something.
But what is their fate? Who cares? The fate of the multiverse has come and passed. We are the gardeners. Yes, let us destroy them and finally consume their souls. That is what the deities did. Are we deities? No, we are titans. Let us not fall upon the hubris. Yes, those that reap and sow brought upon their own destruction. Yes, but what to do with these ones? I am tired of watching these ants in a jar. No, they make such beautiful patterns, and it's all for naught. All for naught. What of this one? His anger. His anger. Yes, he is one that will cause much death. But look at him. He could pass away at any time.
I heard that!
Look at him rage. Rage against the storm. Maybe we have found one for us to play with. Maybe they will decide their own fate. No, we must have a hand in this. This is ours. This is our creation. Yes, there is an awakening. It is time. It is time.
There is a surge of lightning in the sandstorm that all the members of the Kallow Mounds have fled indoors from, and no one is to bear witness as a stroke of lightning hits Henry, Professor, knocking him to the ground, and maybe even for a short period of time to his death.
Nice. Ah. My first one.
Rip Professor.
Good game, guys. The boon to the party was that the professor is dead now.
you get the boon of re-rolling.
You get the boon of never hearing him explain anything again.
No, it is not death. It is just a more pliable state for the Titan, the 3-headed monstrosity who gave unto this place, unto his bride Desnobia, creation. They pour into you hatred and the capacity to destroy with actions and to kill with inaction. Professor, calling upon evil powers and inviting them in is a perilous thing. You can add a power to your ring.
Okay.
Your grandfather's old arcane bonded ring is probably a really good thing to pour the power into. It accepts both the Quasit and the Bloat Mage Imp souls as offering. As the 3-headed titan of destruction, hatred, and death. A Titan's name who is rarely spoken, for it is a destroyer, the Titan god of destruction and doom, whose 3 heads are Ceres, Moros, and Thanatos.
Can you drop those in chat?
Yeah, the Titan's name collectively is Kernatos Mors. Mors is the hateful doom. Ceres is the god of violent death. Thanatos, the god of more peaceful death or terminal sicknesses. Death through neglect. And Ceres is Moros is the god of like hatefulness and impending doom. These 3 have found in you something that each of them likes.
Hell yeah.
And the professor gains the ability to cast the spells from the destruction domain as spell-like abilities once per day each.
Oh, nice.
Up to your caster level. So you're 11th level, so you can cast the 6th level version of the destruction domain. The destruction domain contains spells that are not normally wizard spells, including inflict critical wounds. The
Which
bad
can heal undead.
The bad part about this is that your skeletal hand is now bony up to your shoulder.
Oh, shit. It's gonna be harder to hide.
And you now take 1/4 healing from negative energy effects. But you could also take damage from those that harm undead at 1/4 damage.
What's the best way to describe this on the ring?
So once per day, spell-like abilities, and you could copy that list. And I can build you a little table for spell-like abilities later.
Okay.
And then we'll call you 1/4 undead for purposes of healing and harming.
So does that mean he receives 3/4 healing?
No, it's going to be he could still
Just for the
just for the purposes of damage.
Kind of like the way that channeled negative energy would affect him, essentially.
If this curse gets any worse, or maybe it's a boon, he might completely flip.
Got it. So if Bukerbeck channels to harm,
correct, he'll take a quarter.
He takes a quarter of it. But if he channels to heal, nothing bad happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if an evil cleric channeled negative energy to heal undead, it would affect him.
He would get a little bit.
Quarter.
All right, and we're going to call that the boon. That instead of
That's not
throwing
bad.
death and destruction at the village where you pissed off the Titan, instead they looked upon this being of twisted hatred and poured into them some power. If Desnobia will have her pawn, then so too will her husband.
And we're best buddies.
Which only makes the story more fun.
That does sound good.
All right, nobody seems to go check on you while the dinner is transpiring. They seem to get over the fact that you may have conjured the storm, and they do try to enjoy their dinner. almost like they're trying to change the topic. Ash Dancer kind of stands up. May we welcome these jerks, she says, like she's trying out the word, or these jerks emeritus to our village. We hear that you are a singer of courts, Pharisee.
Yes.
Would you care to grace us with a song of your people?
I would love to. Yep, I'll hop up. I'll stand up on my chair. Or is there a stage at all?
No, but there are some. There are a few. I wouldn't quite call them chandeliers. Maybe really rustic chandeliers where some torches can be put into. There's one that's low enough where everyone in the room could see you if you stood up there.
I'll fly up to that.
Okay.
Take out my pipes, dark wood satyr pipes, and start playing. Sort of a haunting tune that goes into happy, and then lulls towards sleep.
By this point in time, Zephyros, Makernam, and Bukerbeck have joined you guys. Makernam looks like a cup in Zephyros's hands, a very heavy cup, like a bowl. He just sits it down beside you, and Bukerbeck comes in. Bukerbeck looks nervous.
I'll spend a few rounds of bardic performance to have everyone feel inspired while I'm playing too.
Okay.
What's wrong, Booker? You look like you're not having a good time.
I had a strange headache while I was taking a nap earlier.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you got, like, divine stuff, too. Well, guess what? I made another god friend. I'm pretty sure I offended Krojun, but other than that, no, I think we're good. It's possible that the professor is outside not handling the storm properly, but other than that, I don't think we fucked up.
We left him outside in a sandstorm. Come along, Makernam.
Okay. Zephyros is gonna go look for the professor.
I asked, and you said no. Give him like resist electricity or something, and he'll be fine.
He's got teleport.
Yeah,
you know,
he's got
he could
teleport.
Be here in a moment if trouble struck.
If he's not here, it's because he doesn't want to be here.
All right, Pharisee, how does your give me a check for your bard song?
Or he got hit too hard, too fast. I'll dance a little bit too, if that would help at all. I'll give you a perform wind.
Yep.
20 plus 22. 30.
30 is not bad. It's actually an extraordinary performance. In a prosperous city, you could earn money per day doing this.
I'd rather earn money by taking dead people's things.
Pharisee, they seemed impressed by your performance, and this goes to win over Chief One Life a little bit more. People are they're calming down a little bit as the dinner goes on. Maybe it's the wine. Maybe it's the fact that you guys are behaving yourselves. Chief One Life seems to be happy to keep at a distance. It's almost like now that you have been whispered to have had the blessings of many gods, he might be considering you more like religious guests as opposed to more secular ones. Thousand Bones does at some point ask Chief One Life a question, and he just nods, and he looks like he wants to come over, but Krojun's approaching again. They are setting up what looks like a big caber pole The caber pole has got they're putting it and it's standing up and it's got a hole in it, and they've run a big thick rope through the caber pole. It's being tied to Krojun's belt. You can see people are like now starting to pound on tabletops and like they look like it appears that it's time for you to play nice with Krojun.
Yeah, that's the part I might have fucked up. I'm gonna do my best and not talk. Pharisee, can you like announce me or whatever? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Ladies and gentlemen, our furry friend, a great warrior, with the strength of 1,000 bears. Thurgus.
There are a couple of there's some drunk. Apparently, there's been some betting because there are some cat folk that are already cheering for Thurgus. When you stand up, there are some cat folk that come running over and they start tying this. They start tying this really thick hemp rope to your waist. So there's this caber pole. Like a caber pole is like just a big log that has been debarked. And kind of rounded. They put it into a metal basket so that it stands upright. The log's got to be 8 feet tall and maybe 400 pounds. And there's carved into it about this big a hole that they've run the rope through. And this is like almost like a thick ship rope almost. Like it's a really, really strong rope. They do tie it around your belt and kind of loop it around your belt. Apparently, the game, if you're going to ask, actually somebody who's putting on, there's Zemkos is putting the rope around Thurgus's belt.
Right. Not to offend, but what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to not touch the pole.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Krojun doesn't fight. You should expect... Try not to get near his claws, boy.
Is he gonna fight me if I get close to him?
That's one way to make your opponents touch the pole.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
You gonna keep all that armor on?
Am I not supposed to?
It would be more honorable if you took off your armor and your weapons.
Okay.
Krojun's basically stripped down to effectively like pants. He does have a few trinkets on him, like an amulet and some rings and stuff. But
do you think I could get some help? It's got a lot of straps.
Oh yeah. Zemkos will start taking off your armor. Krojun looks at you doing this and he gives you a nod and he takes a big swig from a nearby cask and
we will see who is Gigantes.
Strange word for him to use. Gigantes was the last name of a clan.
While I'm putting stuff away, I'm gonna take out. Does it look like he's wearing a belt? Like is he keeping like his?
Bukerbeck comes over and goes,
It does look like Krojun does have magic items.
Yeah, all right.
Bukerbeck's helping you out, but he wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually swap. Like as I'm taking off my armor and stuff, I'm gonna take my belt off, and I'm gonna put the goat horn belt that looks kind of intimidating on. I'm gonna put that one on and just kind of like flex into it and kind of feel good about that.
Krojun drinks while you're getting ready. You guys are placed. Let me just find if I could find a token for a caber. Caber pole.
Can you tell if he's got like magic auras or something? Am I supposed to not use spells?
Zemko says you probably shouldn't use spells, and if you do, you should probably do it quietly.
Got it. I won't cast anything if he's not going to cast anything. I'm literally trying to be respectful right now.
I just have no charisma. So, like, as I try and think of things that might potentially offend someone, I ask, but I do it in a very poor way.
I'll give you a little wink when I think I can